GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good morning, Montreal. Film lovers are flocking to the city's only IMAX 70mm theater for the new Nolan release. While gas prices hover near $2, a leader in traffic is building with lane closures across town. And Steve's Music Store is holding its big inventory auction. Over to you, Ryan.
Marie-Yasmine Aladou returned home to play for the Montreal Roses, joining the lineup for yesterday's match.
The Montreal Roses secured a 3-1 victory, with Aladou contributing a goal and an assist.
Attendance reached over 3,000 fans, filling the arena to capacity for the homecoming game.
All right, let's get into it. Today's headlines include the IMAX Nolan premiere, student college closures, and upcoming tidal turbine project. Good morning, Montreal. Movie lovers are flocking to the Scotiabank Theatre in Quebec's capital to catch Christopher Nolan's latest blockbuster in IMAX 70. The theater's massive projector, idle since 2014, was revived this month, making the venue the province's only screen capable of the rare format. With just 41 theaters worldwide equipped for 70, the revival has drawn long lines and sold-out shows. Fans say the crystal-clear picture and thunderous sound bring the director's vision to life in a way digital formats can't match. The theater reports steady attendance throughout the day, and tickets continue to be snapped up for evening screenings. As the run progresses, the buzz shows no sign of fading, confirming the city's appetite for premium cinematic experiences. The reactivation also marks a milestone for the province's film scene, offering a viewing experience previously unavailable since the format fell out of favor.
Quebec's Education Ministry announced Friday that 4 private subsidized colleges will be shut down, leaving hundreds of international students scrambling for alternatives. The sudden closures, ordered by the provincial government, strip away the only accredited pathways for many newcomers seeking diplomas in fields ranging from business to engineering. Families now face the urgent task of transferring credits or returning home before the start of the fall term. In response, Collège Supérieur de Montréal said it will file an appeal with the administrative tribunal, arguing that the shutdowns violate students' rights and jeopardize the province's reputation as a study destination. Officials declined to comment on the legal strategy, but indicated the decision stemmed from compliance failures at the institutions. The tribunal hearing is slated for later this month, as affected students await a resolution.
Premier Christine Frechette and the Premier of Newfoundland and Labrador announced Tuesday that the two provinces are set to finalize a deal within the next few weeks to expand hydroelectric capacity on the Churchill River in Labrador. The agreement would build on long-standing negotiations over the disputed river project, aiming to tap additional water flow for power generation. Both governments say the expansion could add significant megawatt output, strengthening regional energy security and supporting clean energy targets. Officials emphasize that the deal will respect existing environmental reviews and will involve joint oversight committees. While details remain under discussion, the expectation is that a formal accord will be signed before the end of the month, paving the way for further study and eventual construction. The development marks a pivotal step in resolving a years-long inter-provincial dispute.
Quebec Provincial Police announced today they have dismantled a clandestine laboratory in a modest commercial unit in the Mile X district that was producing counterfeit passports and birth certificates. The raid, carried out earlier this month, resulted in the seizure of high-resolution printers, specialized security inks, forged documents, and a cache of identification materials. Investigators said the operation was part of a broader effort to curb illegal document making that jeopardizes public security. Authorities have arrested several individuals believed to be linked to the network, though details on charges remain pending. The police emphasized that the counterfeit documents could have been used to facilitate fraud, illegal immigration, and other criminal activity. A public safety bulletin will be issued to warn residents about the risks associated with forged identification, and to protect the integrity of official records.
Fuel analysts warn that gasoline prices in the province have surged repeatedly since early February, now hovering just below $2 per liter in the city. At the start of the month, the average pump price was $1.5 per liter, but continued instability in the Middle East and other regions has pushed costs upward. Experts attribute the climb to supply constraints and heightened geopolitical risk, which are inflating wholesale crude values, and in turn, retail rates. The rise marks the steepest increase seen this year, and regulators are monitoring the market as consumers feel the impact on daily commutes and household budgets. Transportation firms report higher operating costs, and price-sensitive shoppers are seeking alternatives where possible. While officials have not announced immediate relief measures, they say they remain alert to further fluctuations as the international situation evolves. We'll hear how a 21-year-old hitting 208 kilometers an hour on a Laval highway got stopped. Tuned, we will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches, no middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're feeling refreshed. Let's dive into today's headlines, and now Ryan Mercer will take us through the local stories.
Quebec Provincial Police stopped a 21-year-old driver on a highway in Laval after the vehicle was recorded traveling at 208 kilometers per hour, more than twice the posted 100 kilometer per hour limit. The stop took place on July 21 on a roadway north of Montreal that runs through the city of Laval. Officers initiated a traffic stop, detained the driver, and recorded the speed with police equipment at 208 kilometers per hour. The recorded speed was 108 kilometers per hour above the legal maximum. The driver's age and the excessive speed were documented in the police report. Quebec highways are limited to 100 kilometers per hour, and the provincial police regularly enforce those limits as part of their traffic safety mandate. No additional information about injuries, vehicle damage, or subsequent legal actions was released at the time of the report.
After years of dreaming about lacing up in front of familiar streets, Marie-Yasmin Aladou stepped onto the field in her native city yesterday, officially becoming a player for the Montreal Roses. The local forward, who grew up watching the team's matches, signed a contract earlier this season and traveled back to join the squad now that the roster is set. Coaches say her familiarity with the area and her experience abroad will add depth to the lineup, while teammates welcome the energy of a homegrown talent. Fans spotted Aladou during the first practice session at the Roses training grounds, where she exchanged smiles with longtime supporters. The move fulfills a personal goal she has carried since her junior days, and the club anticipates her presence will boost attendance at upcoming home games.
The mayor has raised serious doubts about the relevance of a planned tidal turbine project slated for 2027 on the St. Lawrence River near the Old Port. Soria Martinez Ferrada, spokesperson for ARECOL Energy, confirmed the company intends to begin installing hydroturbines in front of the historic waterfront next year. In a recent briefing, the mayor questioned whether the technology will deliver the promised energy benefits for local residents and businesses, emphasizing the need for clear evidence before committing public resources. ARECOL Energy maintains that the turbines will tap renewable power from river currents, potentially reducing reliance on fossil fuels. The mayor's skepticism adds a political hurdle to the initiative, which will now face closer scrutiny as municipal approvals move forward. City officials say the outcome could affect future waterfront development plans and the daily commute of thousands who travel along the river corridor.
16 caribou fawns were born in May, boosting the province's captive herd. The Quebec government announced the births as part of its ongoing breeding program aimed at rebuilding dwindling wild populations. The new calves bring the total number of animals in the facility up by a noticeable margin, giving researchers more individuals to study and eventually release. Officials said the successful season reflects improved management of nutrition, health checks, and habitat conditions within the enclosure. Staff members gathered at the pen to welcome the newborns, documenting the moment with photos that will be shared in upcoming outreach materials. The program, which has been running for several years, hopes to eventually supplement wild herds that have struggled with habitat loss and predation. With each new birth, the chances of restoring a stable caribou presence across the region grow stronger, offering a hopeful sign for future conservation efforts.
Authorities completed an extensive aerial operation this month, spraying the biological insecticide Bacillus thuringiensis kerstaki over 627,000 hectares of forest to combat the province's spruce budworm outbreak. The program, coordinated by provincial forestry officials, deployed a fleet of aircraft to disperse the BTK formulation across affected woodlands, aiming to halt the insect's rapid defoliation of spruce and fir trees. Officials noted that the budworm has been causing significant damage to Quebec's timber resources for several years, prompting the large-scale response. The treatment targets the larval stage of the pest, which is vulnerable to the bacterial toxin, and is expected to reduce future tree loss. Monitoring will continue throughout the summer to assess the spray's effectiveness and guide any additional measures. Foresters hope the intervention will protect the timber supply that supports many local wood processing businesses and recreational trail networks.
Now let's take a quick look at today's forecast with our meteorologist, right after this.
A low-pressure core is being squeezed by a fast southwest jet, setting up midday showers. On this date, the all-time high reached 32.7 degrees Celsius in 2016, a blistering spike during a regional heat wave that pushed temperatures well above normal. The record low of 11.6 degrees Celsius fell in 2025, a rare cold snap that arrived with an early autumnal front. By contrast, the climatological average high sits around 26 degrees and the average low near 18, underscoring how today's values sit between those extremes. The radar shows a band of moderate echo moving east-northeast across the St. Lawrence, currently over the South Shore. It is advancing at roughly 15 kilometers per hour, driven by the southwest jet. We expect the first drops to reach the island around 4 p.m., peak intensity near 4:15, then taper off by 5 p.m. After that the echoes fade, leaving clear skies for the evening. At 7, Montreal sits under a low-pressure center that is beginning to rise as high pressure builds from the west. The fast southwest jet at 132 kilometers per hour injects mid-level momentum, sharpening the pressure gradient. That explains the gusts already hitting 36 kilometers per hour from the south and the lingering cloud deck. Temperatures sit at 19 degrees with humidity near 90%, keeping the air muggy. The sun will break through by mid-morning, pushing the mercury to 27 by early afternoon while clouds thin. UV index registers 4. Winds will peak at 36 kilometers per hour from the south, feeling brisk. No weather alerts are in effect. The rain band on radar will arrive around 4 p.m., then clear, leaving a dry evening. Wednesday opens with clear skies and a high of 21 degrees, low 11 as night falls. The ridge deepens Thursday, keeping the sun blazing and temperatures climbing to 25, while lows remain 11. Friday continues the warm trend, high 26 and a comfortable low 17, still under the same high-pressure dome. Saturday introduces a modest increase in cloud cover as a weak frontal boundary nudges in, producing overcast conditions and a high of 29, low 18. Sunday clears again, with another high of 29 and a mild low 20, perfect for outdoor plans. The jet stream stays aloft, allowing the high pressure to dominate, so rain chances stay negligible throughout the period. And that's your weather. Remember, the local sunrise is also available as a podcast. Listen anytime on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.
Traffic from lane closures, the Tame Impala tour on the St. Lawrence, and Canadians opening the season. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
The biggest headache this morning is the Mercer Bridge, fully closed to trucks and running contraflow traffic. Eastbound vehicles are forced onto southbound lanes, creating long queues on Rue Notre Dame and Boulevard René Lévesque. In the Louis-Hippolyte Lafontaine tunnel, clearance is reduced to 4.3 meters, so high loads must detour. At the Dorval roundabout, exit 56 is shut with a detour onto Autoroute 40. One lane on the service road between Tellier and Notre Dame is closed, slowing traffic near the university. The Bonaventure Expressway near the Victoria Bridge runs with only one eastbound lane, and the Claimant Bridge carries a single westbound lane. Highway 520 remains narrowed as overpass rebuild continues. Southbound Daiquiri Expressway between the interchange and Jean Talon is under lane closures. 2 of 4 lanes are down southbound between Gouin and Henry Bourassa. Downtown St. Catherine and St. Jacques Streets see intermittent work. No transit delays to report, and western suburbs look clear for the afternoon commute.
Tame Impala takes the Bell Center tonight for a psychedelic audio-visual show. A must-see for anyone craving a mind-bending live experience before summer ends. The production blends lights and projections, turning the arena into a canvas. The Gourmet Soup Cruise sets sail on the St. Lawrence River this afternoon, offering 3.5 hours of warm soups, a live DJ, and sweeping city views, perfect for a relaxed lunch with a splash of culture. Bring a blanket. The sunset skyline is the perfect backdrop. Tomorrow the Bell Center welcomes K-pop sensation IVE, bringing high-energy choreography and catchy hooks that will have the whole city dancing. Fans can expect surprise guests and a setlist of their biggest hits. All week long, Festival Haiti on Fire lights up Parc La Fontaine, showcasing Haitian music, art, and food, a vibrant celebration you won't want to miss. Food stalls serve authentic griot and plantain, and dance workshops invite you to join the rhythm. And now here's Tyler with sports.
Mark your calendars, the new NHL season already has a marquee opening night. The Canadiens are set to hit the road for a rivalry's first start to the 2026 to 2027 NHL season. Montreal will visit the Toronto Maple Leafs on opening night, September 29th, one of two all-Canadian matchups kicking off the new campaign, according to CBC Sports. A chapter has closed in Montreal. The Canadiens have dealt forward Brendan Gallagher to the Vancouver Canucks in exchange for future considerations. CBC Sports NHL confirmed the move, which was reported in late June. Gallagher spent over a decade with the organization before this offseason departure. A chapter has closed in Montreal. The Canadiens have traded forward Brendan Gallagher to the Vancouver Canucks in exchange for future considerations. CBC Sports reported the deal, marking the end of Gallagher's run with the organization where he spent the bulk of his NHL career.
Steve's Music Store in downtown Montreal has been the go-to spot for guitarists, drummers, and budding songwriters for more than 3 decades. This Saturday and Sunday, July 22nd and 23rd, the family-run shop will open its doors for a public auction of the remaining inventory, everything from vintage amps to brand new strings. The sale marks the final chapter for a retailer that helped launch countless local bands and gave neighborhood kids their first chord. As the shelves empty, the community will feel the loss of a place where music lessons turned into lifelong friendships. Steve's has been more than a shop, it's been a soundtrack to Montreal's creative pulse. Neighbors are already planning a farewell jam session to celebrate the store's legacy. Up next, meet the 16 adorable caribou fawns, adding new life to Quebec's captive herd, a heart-warming reminder of nature's resilience.
Coming up tonight at 6, the local sunset. Your neighborhood, your city, your news. From city hall decisions to the stories happening right on your street, we cover what matters most to Montrealers. Join us tonight at 6 p.m. on GMNA for the local sunset, Montreal's evening newscast.
Inside the soaring nave of Notre Dame Basilica, the soft morning light filters through the rose-tinted stained glass, casting amber patterns on the stone floor. Today, Café St. Henry, Montreal's beloved micro-roaster, unveils its Le Firmament flagship café right beneath the vaulted arches, a quiet oasis where the scent of freshly ground beans mingles with centuries of echoing hymn. The space feels alive. A barista in a crisp white apron pulls a velvety espresso, the steam curling like a whisper against the ancient frescoes. A family of 3 settles at a reclaimed wooden table, their laughter gentle enough to blend with the organ's low hum, while a volunteer from the restoration team watches, grateful that each cup sold will help fund the basilica's ongoing repairs. When the first cup is lifted, the rich aroma seems to carry a promise of heritage preserved, of community thriving, and of a shared moment that bridges past and present. It's a simple act, yet it reminds us how a cup of coffee can become a catalyst for caring. We'll carry that feeling with us as we step out into the day.
On a bright Saturday morning in the Plateau Mont-Royal, a modest community garden behind the historic St. Louis Square buzzed with activity as neighbors gathered for the first harvest share of the season. Longtime resident Marie-Claire Dubois, who has tended the raised beds for more than a decade, welcomed families with baskets of fresh carrots, heirloom tomatoes, and fragrant basil, while a group of teenagers from the nearby École St. Joseph set up a makeshift stand selling lemonade brewed from the garden's own mint leaves. The scent of warm bread drifted from a portable oven as volunteer baker Karim El-Mansouri, a newcomer to the neighborhood, handed out warm sourdough rolls to anyone who stopped by. Children laughed as they tried to guess the secret ingredient, a pinch of honey harvested from the rooftop apiary that sits above the cafe on Rue Saint-Denis. The moment the first roll was broken, steam curling into the cool air, a quiet sense of togetherness settled over the square. It's moments like these, where strangers become collaborators and a simple garden turns into a place of shared gratitude, that remind us how everyday kindness can knit a community tighter. We'll keep that feeling with us as the day unfolds.
Thank you, Montreal, for joining us on the local sunrise. Tonight's highlight, seeing the city buzz as fans filled the only IMAX 70mm theater for Nolan's latest, reminded us why we love this vibrant community. We'll be back tomorrow with more stories that matter to you. Stay curious, stay connected.